On this episode of Big Movie Mouth Off, we're going home and we're getting hard. Hi, welcome to another episode of Big Movie Mouth Off. I'm your host, Jimmy Martin, and you are back.
Thank you, Jeff Counts. Nice to see you, James.
I don't know if it's going to be that nice to see you about this one.
Yeah, right.
Let's see, on this episode of Big Movie Mouth Off, we'll be reviewing Get Hard with Will Ferrell.
Yep.
And but now we're going to review Home. This is DreamWorks' latest animated film. Voice actors. Jim Parsons plays an alien. The race is known as the Boov,
Right.
who invade Earth because they're always on the run from their enemy.
Right.
So rather than just hiding on Earth, they decide to extract everybody, every human, and put them basically in a camp that looks like an amusement park.
Yes.
And then take over Earth. Well, they forget to claim one girl, voiced by Rihanna. Her name is Gratuity, nickname Tip. She basically wants her mom back. Right. And then Jim Parsons' character, O, is outed by his fellow aliens for being an idiot. And so they're both on the run, both trying to help each other out, but one may have ulterior motives than to the other one. And then also you've got the leader of the Boov, voiced by Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Who, well, let's jump into this one.
Doesn't that sound great? It's not.
Well, the thing is the premise is fun in the beginning because I was like, okay, you're gonna have like a reverse ET kind of thing.
Yeah.
Here. You know, like where the little girl's hiding from the alien race. I love how they take over Earth.
Oh, they did a great job with the invasion sequence.
Yeah, I think
it's
that's
really
cool.
fun to look at. It's creative.
But that's where all positives and,
goodness.
every negative begins because this film not only it's boring as all.
Very boring. And I haven't seen something this cringingly unfunny in a long time. I mean, you cover your eyes in embarrassment for these people at least 10 times.
But the problem too, and we agreed on this one, is it's dated.
Oh my!
It's like it seriously feels like they grabbed the screenplay off the shelf.
Yeah.
And went.
Yeah.
And like blew 3 inches of dust off.
Like I told you, they got this screenplay from the time capsule that my high school buried in 19. Don't worry about it. It's bad.
Well, when your joke that you repeatedly go to like 3 or 4 times because they have a car that runs on like Slurpees from like a 7-Eleven kind of thing, and one of the flavors' name is Busta Lime. Show me an 8-year-old who knows who Busta Rhymes is.
Show me a 28-year-old who knows who Busta Rhymes is.
You know, and I like Busta Rhymes. Like I grew up on him. I'm like, I haven't heard Busta Rhymes mentioned in like 15 years.
No.
You know, like and they're like, and they repeatedly say like, Busta Lime, and I'm like, that's your joke? That's your go-to?
It's so lame. There's several times where, I mean, like I said, you cover your face because you just can't believe it's happening.
Yeah.
It's so unfunny.
We always say on this show sometimes that we determine how bad a movie can be by the number of times you look at your clock or your watch or whatever.
Yes.
I was kind of like take my phone and peek at it. I was like, this has got to be wrapping up. This is so long. It hadn't been an hour, and I was losing my mind. It's terrible. These are the kind of films, animated films, and shame on DreamWorks. They're usually better than this. Yeah. I don't know. I know it's adapted from a children's book.
Yep.
And that I've heard that the children's book is pretty good, but I'm sorry. This is a failure amongst all failures.
Well, they made some casting mistakes too because Steve Martin it's like from the bad SNL years. It's like Jim Carrey in the '90s, The Mask kind of comedy. It's really tired. And
I hope the paycheck was a lot.
I hope so too. And we have to be honest. This is just one long record sale for Rihanna.
Oh,
because the acting, her voice acting is really bad.
Well, she's a terrible actress.
Yes.
Go make your Umbrella songs. But yeah, I mean,
it's all her music.
Everything that's in there is Rihanna,
yeah.
And even where it doesn't even feel like it's appropriate. You're just like, why are you playing this?
They must do 10 montages just to get her songs in.
Yeah.
I mean,
and maybe that's the deal she signed. That I'll do your movie if I could have the entire soundtrack. So that's a horrible move.
Yep.
So it looks good. But
it's very pretty.
To me, that argument is it's not valid anymore because pretty much, there was a time when Pixar was the only one who could look like Pixar, and then DreamWorks upped their game, and then, Disney Animation Studios upped their game, so everybody's looking good visually.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, like, that's not good enough.
You're right. The visual bar is high enough now that if you can't just trust that the minimum standard is going to make your movie good.
Yeah. Yeah,
you are right about that. I used the same argument about a movie looking good on Jupiter Ascending, and I probably was a little more forgiving on that movie than I am going to be on this. But it's the datedness. It's the actual absolute missing on all the jokes. That's just So tragic.
And I always try to, pay attention to the audience.
Yeah.
And like kids weren't even enjoying it. They were
No.
just kind of sitting there like, okay, I guess,
Yeah.
So anyway, with that, I'm giving it a half a star.
Yeah. Half a star. We've been agreeing a lot lately, but
Yeah.
I can't do any better than that for
I
this.
don't let people on the show who don't agree with me.
Yeah, good.
So half a star each. I'm sorry, DreamWorks. Better
Sorry,
luck.
Sheldon.
Yeah. Oh, better luck next time.
Yeah.
No bazingas.
That would have been more current than some of the jokes they did tell.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, we will be reviewing Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart are going to star in Get Hard. And we'll review it coming up next.
Yep.
Welcome back to Big Movie Mouth Off. I'm your host, Jimmy Martin. Introduce yourself again.
Jeff Counts.
There you go. All right, so we reviewed Home. What wasn't that good? And now we're going to be reviewing Get Hard with Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart. Story is Will Ferrell is the 1% in this.
Yes.
Yeah. When you talk about the elite of the elite, this is who he is. He plays James King.
Yeah.
He financial advisor, whatnot.
Yeah, like a fund manager.
Exactly. And so he's gonna marry Alison Brie.
Yeah.
Her father's Craig T. Nelson, who's his boss. And all of a sudden, the crap hits the fan, and it turns out that he's been he framed for fraud and tax evasion and every kind of thing you can imagine.
Big trouble.
Facing 10 years in prison at San Quentin because the judge is tired of seeing the 1% get away.
Because that makes sense.
Right.
That happens.
Of course it does.
I mean, this is a snapshot ripped from the headlines. It's Law and Order.
So rather than think he's gonna die in prison, he decides to hire the owner of the car wash company that's in his parking garage, played by Kevin Hart, because he's been to prison. He assumes he's been in prison because he's black.
Right, and he's probably the only black person this character's ever spoken to anyway.
Exactly.
So.
Well, when he first approaches him,
Yeah.
he says, "Take my money," or "I don't have any money." It's all racist. It's completely that's the entire premise of this film essentially. And jumping into it, I love Will Ferrell.
Mm-hmm.
I think Will Ferrell is one of the greatest improv people out there.
Yeah.
But when he's stuck in a movie like this, that again, kind of like Home, feels so dated. Like there's nothing original about it. But the times that he gets to shine along with Kevin Hart are the improv moments.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes in this movie where you're sitting there thinking, this is going to be awesome on the blooper reel of the DVD.
Or during the credits,
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Because it's either too short or just a little off center enough not to work in the film itself, but that there's probably some gold on the extras.
Sure. I mean, like you picture the scenes like from Anchorman.
Yeah,
stuff like
or
that,
Talladega Nights,
exactly.
that whole bit.
Yeah, like where you can tell that they just did 20 minutes.
Yeah, I picture baby Jesus as a mischievous badger.
Yeah, or like your cologne smells like was it a diaper filled with Indian food? That kind of stuff. When they keep running it back and forth.
Exactly.
That's when he shines. But the screenplay is so just it's paint by numbers essentially.
Total cookie cutter.
Yep. And then Kevin Hart, I've never really been a huge fan. He's kind of grown on me a little bit. Stand-up's pretty decent, but again, not really allowed to be himself, except for these few scenes. There's so many times, and I say this with a lot of comedies, if you mentally realize that you haven't laughed in about 20, 30 minutes, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. And that's how I felt in this movie a number of times. I call them dry spells.
Yeah.
Where you're just sitting there going, why are we not laughing?
It's funny in places. It's just not funny enough.
Yeah.
Like these two guys, we should have been rolling half the movie because
Yeah.
Kevin Hart is also a good improv actor.
Mm-hmm.
Also got great delivery and timing. Funny. I mean, it should have been way better than it was.
I always say also, if you're gonna be an R-rated comedy, use your R rating. And that was my only hope for Unfinished Business.
Yeah.
Piece of crap, couldn't help it.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, and it's almost like I kind of have to take a step back because they use their R rating. They use it a lot, and that's the thing. It's like when I say use your R rating, like take it to a 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They take it to like a 13.
They do, but didn't it feel like the usage of the R rating was almost they almost surprised themselves when they reminded themselves that they had it? Like, oh my goodness, this is supposed to be an R movie.
Yeah.
Let's show a penis. I'll find a picture of one. You guys just say the F word for about 5 minutes until I can do it. It just seemed arbitrary and slapped on.
I mean, I'm not offended by language, like that.
No.
And so, but when I sit there, I'm like, they're just saying it to say it.
Exactly.
Like it's just the ammo's drying out, and it's just it doesn't have that oomph anymore. You know, when you just take it too far, you're kind of like, sure, whatever, man. Like, just cuss to cuss. And so there's a delivery and a timing and and for comedy, and for dirty comedy, but they missed the mark completely.
Yeah, if a movie's going to be this formulaic, I mean, you could almost have like silent movie cards come up that show when the next step in the formula is going to be. You know, conflict will arise between the characters when truth about one of them is revealed.
Exactly.
You know, it's so obvious. If you're going to do that, if you're going to do the formula thing, then your leads have to be incredible. The script's got to be great, and the jokes have to be spot on. And they miss on all that.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few good jokes here and there in the sense that like. You know, what he, you know, not to spoil too much, but he says that he went to jail because, and he basically just gives the entire plot line to Boys in the Hood. So pretty good.
Which was that was actually a funny scene, and the way he told the story was great. But there's so many cliches: white guy with the black gang, all of the cultural mishaps that happen there. And then, of course, you know, at the end, white guy's going to be beloved by the black gang, and the black guys are going to be talking about the IRS and Wall Street, and it's so cliched.
It's to me, it's you know, Will Ferrell doing what Will Ferrell has done in the past, where it's like, you know, the producer's like, hey, we need a nerdy white guy who's going to try to act like he's tough or cool and look like an idiot. Get Will Ferrell on the phone, you know, and so. But you know, but then again, don't let him use his real gift, which is improv.
Right.
So.
Right.
With that said, it's a bad week. I'm at the 1 star. Just that's what I'm giving it. So sorry, Will.
Yeah, you might be feeling more generous than me. I'm a 0.5 star for this too.
Wow.
To me, it's just so lazy and it's an incredible waste of talent.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, incredible waste. Yeah. I mean, those are two guys that should be having everybody rolling over, and that certainly doesn't happen.
I mean, how about the scene with the biker gang when Kevin Hart's got him at the end of a flamethrower, and he's about to give a speech, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be amazing, and it's wah-wah.
Yeah, and so just lame. Let's go. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh.
Well, sorry, it's a bad week.
Yep.
1 star for Get Hard, 0.5 star from good old Mr. Counts. That's going to do it for this episode of Big Movie Mouth Off. Be sure to check us out on YouTube and Facebook and like it and join us for Movies with Free Passes, and we will see you next time.